Tonight, we race on the dirt of the Major Series as it returns from its summer break with the World 100. Tonight, we're at iRacing's virtual Eldora Speedway to see who's the best on the clay and better on the dirt. Good evening, everyone. I'm Justin Prince. Alongside the booth tonight is Sheldon Atkins. Austin Darbyshire is our producer as we get ready for our coverage here on Crit Vision of the Major Series. Take a look at Eldora, one of the most legendary dirt circuits in all the world. Half a mile is the distance here tonight as we get ready to go racing here for 100 laps for our feature plus multiple different heat races. Tonight should be a wild one to say the very least as we get ready for a busy night here in this one and a busy one in Rossburg, Ohio for tonight. Sheldon, Eldora going to be the scenes and going to be the main backdrop for tonight. Your thoughts on tonight as we get set for a dirt blast.
Thoughts going in so far? Man, we got pro late models, a lot of horsepower, a really fun track. Eldora is notorious for having so many different lines you can take around here and so many ways you can get around it. Look, I'm expecting one heck of a show from these guys here tonight. That is for sure.
Should be an interesting night of racing. Partly cloudy skies. We are on September 14, 2024 in sim date as well. Track conditions very cool. 64 degrees Fahrenheit in sim time. Already getting ready to approach the nighttime here at Eldora. Keep in mind we'll be using the Dirt Pro late models here tonight as we make our way around the racetrack. So that's going to be something to keep an eye on to see how they drive. Remember, new damage model and different driving models in recent months applying to those drivers. The right rear tires in particular have been shredding, Sheldon, off some of these cars. That's going to be something to keep an eye on tonight.
And that was something I heard a lot of drivers talking about in practice too, which is how fast that tire wear was. And guys actually talking about, and this is the first time I've ever heard of it in dirt, on iRacing anyway, is trying to find a way to save those tires so they don't come back and bite you.
Yeah, that was something that was a part of some of the more recent updates. Instead of near zero burn, you end up getting, well, what we have now. And that's going to be a balancing act for tonight for these tires. Qualifying currently underway. All but one driver has set a qualifying time, part of the 5 minutes, 3 laps of solo qualifying. Christian Schauner, top of the board so far. The only driver of the 14 sixes here tonight. Keep in mind, clean track state is the main thing to consider for the qualifying. Then, after this point, it will go to be 50% usage. Take a look at your weekly schedule. Reminder that it's Richmond week coming up. We'll be racing at Richmond Monday, Tuesday, and Friday as the 11th break comes to a close. See how things play out at the action track for the Top Split Series, brought to you by Ryco. Remember, High Slide is also in action. Their trucks are at Dover. That will be in the mix of August 5th to the 11th, of 2024. Be sure to tune in. But getting back to the dirt racing tonight as we prepare for tonight's festivities. The qualifying is complete. The heats are arranged. And that means we have plenty of heats to go through. 5 heats for tonight's time slots. We'll have coverage of each of them. On the pole, Christian Schauner, Ross Banfield set the second fastest in his group. Second fastest overall time was Bruce Jones. Austin O'Neill will start in the third heat. The fourth heat, David Gargaro Jr. should say. Joel Wolf in the top 5 amongst your top qualifiers. But in heat 1 again, Schauner, Ross Banfield, Don Dolson, Bryce Roberts, Stephen Verweyen, Adam Johnson, Joshua Mertz, Wayne Hutchinson, Brett Trozen. The 9 who will be a part of this heat here, Sheldon. Your thoughts on this group?
Interesting, man. We got Schauner in this. Not surprised to see him at the top of the board. Guy's just about a rocket and everything. I ran a bunch of races against him in A Open back 2018 at Richmond, and dude was a rocket all week. So excited to see what he does out here in the dirt. I've never seen it.
is, of course, an iRacing employee these days. Used to be a broadcaster, in fact, for the Air Major Series time slots. Now, we'll try and showcase his speed on the clay. Again, your heat race distance, 15 laps, top 3 advance, 15 minutes, whatever comes first. Caution laps expected not to count for these heats and LCQs, but expected to count for the feature races. And so we get all set and prepared to go. What are your keys to a solid heat race, in your opinion, to be in the top 3 and why?
A solid heat race. I mean, from what I've heard, it's going to be a fight to the bottom here at the start, just because that's where the grip seems to lie with these things. So I'd be going for the bottom and trying to just shotgun by people that are stuck up on the top. Kind of treat it like a short track starting out.
And fresh track conditions already in place. The next reset is not until the warm-up after all. See how they handle the slick. We'll see how things get tacked up around the track. But Christian Schauder in control. We're glad to have you with us. It's heat race time for the Major Series and the World 100 here on Grid Vision. Green flag is out. Underway already. A lane change by Ross Banfield as they hug the inside to start. The battle is on for the bubble. Don Tolson, Bryce Roberts. Already Bryce Roberts able to power his way up to 3rd spot. He controls the bubble spot for the time being here. Caution. And we're under caution for the first time. We'll see what happened here. I believe it was Adam Johnson this time, Sheldon.
Sorry about that. Was fixing a little technical difficulty.
I was about to say, let's take a look once again. First caution already, Sheldon. What did you see?
I just came out of the corner a little too hot, got the right rear hung up there against the fence, and bounced off and did a quick little 360. It's easy to do, man. These the little bit that I've done in the late models on here, these things, it's really weird. If you're not precise with your throttle input coming off the corners, man, you can send that thing in places you didn't even think it would go.
Now, if we can, want to see that car on pit road because it is getting damage repairs done during these caution flags. The new damage model is very intense. As you can see, that absolutely has shredded apart the right front of Adam Johnson. In the past, obviously it wouldn't be like that. It would be a bit more of a tank handling like that. Now, you hit the wall like that, you destroy this car.
Yeah, it's going to make tonight very much a battle of attrition for a lot of these guys, especially once we get to the feature.
Looks like Johnson having a hard time getting himself back onto the grid, but Christian Schauder is controlling this grid right now. Already coming up to the end of lap 2 here. Ross Banfield and Bryce Roberts in the transfers. iRacing pace truck is off. Schauder onto the gas. Green flag is out. Back underway. And now Schauder works his way around. Hugs the bottom. Slides up top. Top 3 looks stabilized. Hold on. Dolson wants 3rd. Already a lot of shuffling for the 3rd spot. Dolson preferring the top shelf. Has better runs down the straightaways. Compare that to Bryce Roberts. He's been better rounding the bottom for the race lead. Banfield runs the 2nd groove. Schauder works his way from the wall, clears himself. Now they start moving up, Sheldon, like you predicted.
Yeah, it's going to be so hard for you to be able to get that run there on the bottom, especially, oh, we got a wreck again.
Caution flag for the 2nd time, and an Eric Kingsman machine. Joshua Mertz this time going around. Just enough to bring around the caution flag. Let's see why.
Just got up there on the top. A little too much throttle, maybe a little too much wheel. Next thing you know, thing comes around. Boom, caution's out. Nice little lazy spin, though. Did a good job not getting hit by anybody there. He'll live to fight another day.
And again, our second yellow flag. Here's a look on board. You can see just how much the wheel movement has to be precise. Just overclocked it.
Yeah, that's just such a simple and easy mistake to make, especially in these things. They're so sensitive, so difficult to drive.
Puts us up to lap 5. And going to be interesting if we come down to time here as a result of these cautions, precautions, lap 6 should say. Still less than 10 laps to go. It doesn't seem like third spot, that transfer directly to the feature, is clear cut yet here with how they've been able to race with a lot of side-by-side.
Yeah, that's one of the beautiful things about Eldora is there's just, you got so many opportunities, so many options, so many ways to make a pass, but at the same time, it is difficult, especially when that guy on the outside is competent and is able to defend that line and get that momentum up off the corner. You pretty much have to Hail Mary the thing down in there, throw a slide job, and hope that either the guy behind you lifts or you get enough clearance that you don't end up going into the fence.
Getting ready for the restart already here. In control once again, Challenger. Banfield second, Dawson third, Robertson fourth. Just outside the battle for the position is Verweyen in the top 5 in the 8 car. Our racing pace truck is off, green flag is out, watching from inside Challenger's car. He's off and away.
Putting down a lot of power down on the bottom. We still got a nice battle for third right now. We got the 04 of Olsen down here on the inside of Roberts. Not able to get it done, though. Roberts gets the power down coming out of the corner. He's going to get the pole on him here coming into 1 and 2.
And just like that, once again, whoever starts topside seems to be able to control that transfer spot halfway through the race. Cross flags this time. And Dulcet having some troubles now with the handling, and caution. Another yellow, and it's another Kingsman car. It's the second time for Mertz, and he's parked it.
Just got up there, grabbed the fence in the middle of the straightaway. From what I saw there. We can wind that back a little bit, maybe get a little loose coming out of the corner and caught it. Oh, he just got glued right into it there.
Yeah, he didn't even try to turn it out of the wall based on one of the angles. Kingsman Racing not having the prettiest of events so far in this first heat.
We're going to see him dive it down here into the corner up on the top. It was put throttle down, gets a little loose, overcorrects, pops it into the fence, and honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if it was just impossible for him to get off the wall because that wheel just came shooting right out the back.
Yeah, you seen that too? That was a little bit wild. See that tire just fly off and poof off. But now we're on lap 9 and getting ready for the restart next time by. Here's another look.
Yeah, he went in there with the Pro late model and walked out with a Reliant Robin.
Not sure what you mean by that, but we're coming up towards the top 3. Having another potential shift around. Dawson prefers the top. He'll get ready from the top line. Battle for the transfer. What can Roberts do on this restart, especially knowing how powerful the top is right now?
Well, the one advantage he has right now is he's going to be starting behind the leader, which means he's going to get a little bit better of a jump than second place is up there on the outside. If he times it right, he can get in there and get down the bottom and kind of power his way up there.
He got a great launch already side by side for second, in fact. Ross Banfield tries to keep it high side. Roberts keeps it on. Here comes Dawson. Dawson with the power. Dawson overclocks it. Nearly turns himself and shuffles back in line.
Here comes Dawson charging out of the bottom. Roberts going to cover it. Dawson's going to slide back up here in 1 and 2. Down the back straightaway. It looks like Roberts is pretty much locked in at this moment, though.
Roberts trying to run for the inside, up towards the wall. That's one of the more World Championship preferred lines. Roberts seems to have found something to close out this run. Challenger holds on to clean air, coming to 3 laps to go. A poke for Roberts, he might want second, has to cut outside, another one in the wall.
We're weighing hard into the fence. We got 2 on spinning and down there on the inside of them.
Another caution flag. Cautions, breed, cautions. And this time, another Canesman Racing car involved, Adam Johnson.
Oh, that looked like a little bit of net code there. As much as I hate to say it.
So we're under yellow with 3 to go. Only a few laps to decide it here. And we've just had someone hit the barrier. Verweyen tried to enter the pit road and just drove it into the tire barrier. That car does not want to enter the box. Something's wrong with the 8. He felt something and then just drives it into the water barrel?
Yeah, well, I mean, he hit the fence pretty hard there before we actually had that spin, because he was up on the wall and those two kind of overcorrected to try and avoid hitting him. And I wouldn't be surprised if he bent a toe link, broke the suspension somehow from that hit, because it was a hard hit. He was glued up in there.
And so we'll see how this restart plays out. 1 to go signal yet again. With us within a certain amount of laps to go, staying in single file here. Christian Schauder, Ross Banfield, Bryce Roberts, Don Dolson. Your cars to watch here. Just a few laps to decide it here at Eldora. Pace truck is off. Green flag is out. Only a few more laps to go. 2 to go.
Challenger with a really good launch. No contest behind him right now. Everybody's single file, trying to find some kind of way to make some kind of momentum to try and get by the guys in front of them. Gonna be hard to do, though.
White flag is out, presented by Ryco. One more time around here for heat number 1. Dolson trying to set things up. Needs a run. Bryce Roberts focusing more on second than he is behind him. Checker flag, Schauder wins it. Second spot, Banfield. Third spot, Roberts. Dolson, the first one out, followed by Hutchinson, Trojan. And laps down for Weyen, Johnson, Joshua Mertz finishes as a DNF in his destroyed car. And how about that Challenger flag to start off the night here, Sheldon?
I'm not too surprised. I've known him to have a lot of talent in the handful of times that I've raced against him, so. Very interesting to see what we got with the next one. Who we got on tap for this one?
Well, on tap for this one, heat number 2 gridding up. It's on your left side of the screen. Bruce Roberts, Daniel Stevens, front row. Zachary Goddard, Mark Miller, row 2. Travis Warling and Robert Northway, top 6. Damian Colty, Sebastian Jackson, and Scott Kukas in the 9 spots in heat number 2. And we talked about Roberts. He led the way actually in final practice by 3 1,000ths over Daniel Stevens. So 2 drivers that look very fast in clean track conditions at least. Going to be controlling your front row here, Sheldon.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see how this thing plays out. I'm not familiar with a lot of names in here yet, but I will be by the end of the night.
The Taco Rocket will control things from the inside line when we get going here. As we get prepared here, what is one thing you took away from the first heat that you are looking to see what happens with in the second heat?
Well, I know that the more that we get this track worn in and kind of slicked up, that more guys are going to start trying to really make that outside line work and really try to get some kind of runoff there. So I'm wondering if this is going to be the heat where they all start to graduate to the top, or if we're going to still kind of lowline it here.
Let's find out. Bruce Jones in control for heat number 2. Daniel Stevens alongside. iRacing pace truck is off. Green flag is out. And we're underway for heat number 2. All running side by side for second spot, Zachary Goddard. He's in one of the Majula C Speed Shop backed entries, one of the World Championship organizations. He's alongside Stevens for second.
And Goddard's down the bottom, charging hard, trying to find some kind of way to get by Stevens. And they're going to get close, a little bit of contact. He's going to shoot Stevens right up at the top of the track. Heavy damage to the left front of the 3 machine. It's going to move Goddard up to second place, though.
We'll keep an eye on if that's going to hurt him long term now. Pressure is on because you have one of the U-Dogs entries. Travis Warling trying to find his way around the middle finger racing machine. And caution. Caution flag is out at the back. Sebastian Jackson.
We had a couple incidents after the yellow came out there, too.
Bit of a check of effect, but the crash is for 7th and 8th position on the track.
Oh, just did not lift. Hooked him on the way down. And right here, this is after the flag.
Yeah, a lot of people not seeing what's happening in front of them, it looked like, on the checkups. And Robert Northway will have to take his car into the pit lane from all of the checkup effects. That's not going to be helpful for him, to say the very least. He was your last person to set a qualifying time, period, here tonight.
My daughter would be absolutely crying if she looked at that Bluey car tore up like that.
I was about to say, he did use the one faster pair available tonight. There is a faster pair if necessary. And Northway will take the risk and lose the track position to take it.
It's a smart call, because I guarantee you that thing was tore up after that hit, because he hit that wall a ton.
Just about ready for the restart. Really back in their way for the pace truck this time. Jones, Goddard, alongside Daniel Stevens. Travis Warling with a lot of left side damage is in 4th. Running your top 5, Mark Miller. All set for the restart. Green flag, and back underway. Clean launch for Jones. Fight is on for 3rd. The damage building up now. Goddard able to round his way on the top side, up from the cushion. Now moves his way to the 3rd line. Warling tries to use that cushion to his advantage. He has contact for 3rd.
Warling with an aggressive restart, making some aggressive moves here too, trying to get up here into the top 3. He's going to be up at 3rd now on the back bumper of the 29 of Goddard. A little bit of contact coming into 3. Warling going to stick to the top though, while Goddard goes low.
Able to squeeze his way on the play into a bubble spot. Despite all the damage, that car seems like it's dialed in. He's going for a slide job. The slider from Warling. Able to force the crossover instead by Goddard. Goddard now goes for a slider on back for 2nd. But Warling keeps it, takes it, runs away with it.
It was Warling back in on the top. Goddard still down there on the bottom. Wondering now if Warling has anything to contend with your race leader, Jones. Looking pretty stout up there on the outside line, right up off the cushion.
Right now, they look pretty solid in terms of the pace, indeed. Goddard still having troubles getting that car to go to the cushion. It's the only one not fully up towards that edge of the racetrack, really, in some parts of the circuit. Still following along with the battle now for 4th position, Mark Miller. Just past halfway, trying to take some peaks. Still too far behind to make a move on the 3.
Right now, Jones is running away with this thing. Almost a 2nd lead over Warling in 2nd. Running nice and patient, methodical down there on the bottom. Just trying to build that gap a little bit. Not put himself in a bad shape, though. Not get up there, get the thing skewed out and knock down the fence.
Less than 5 laps to work with, and right now, Jones wanting the pro line with how he's been going to the Taco Rocket. Others needing some luck to be able to close up. There's a look. Changing up his line. He's not afraid to change it up compared to 3 and 4. A little bit more higher up in 1 and 2, though.
These guys behind, they just don't have anything for him right now, that is for sure. Whirling is trying to find everything that he possibly can to try and close that gap, if even just a little bit.
Less than 2 laps to go. Bruce Jones on his way to transfer. Whirling in second. Did start knocking it down some fast lap times, losing ground at the end. Ryko, white flag is out. Final time around. And Bruce Jones come through the final corner in the Aces Up Sim Sports machine and put on a dominating Heat 2 run. He wins Heat 2. Second spot, Whirling. Goddard in third. Out of the feature for now, Stevens, Miller, Jackson, Northway, Colty, Kukas amongst those who did not transfer.
That was
not bad at all for a second heat.
No, that was quite a contrast to the first one. A lot more patience out of these guys, yet still somehow finding a way to be completely almost over the top aggressive at some points. These guys did a really good job getting those things around there and not tearing up too much equipment on that one.
Heat number 3 on the docket. Austin O'Neill, Justin Morden on the front row, Nick Kuhn and Stuart Elder in your top 4. Roger Shank inside the top 5. Trevor Bobrovsky in 6. Mark Santana, Ronald McPherson, and Joshua Suxi in the 9th position. So a couple of teammates have a chance to work together here. Those are the outside row and the Fusion machines. How helpful will teammates be in a race like this?
Well, the good news about teammates is that's one person you don't have to worry as much about wrecking you. But outside of that, there's not really much that I could see having another team car out here can really do aside from hold a spot that you need to be in.
So what you're saying is, if it comes down to it, you would move your teammate for a transfer?
Well, I mean, you were teammates with me at one point. You know I absolutely would in a heartbeat.
So, they work to get their tires ready to go here. The track temperature is rising a bit. As the in-sim time approaches 7 o'clock in sim. So see as well, elected to start from the pit road, so we only have 8 who will take the starting grid and roll their way to the green flag here. What are you keeping an eye on for this middle heat, this third heat?
Well, for the time being, I mean, based on how fast you've gone, it looks like the control car, since we're not really getting runs long enough for these guys to really work in to get up to them, I think the control car is going to be the one that it's going to have it at the end of this thing. I think O'Neill's going to be able to pull it off. But I can be proven wrong, so we will find out very fast.
Let's see how fast, in fact. O'Neill in command. Morden alongside. Heat number 3, all set to go. An early launch this time. Green flag is out. Back underway. Morden tries to keep it to the cushion. Austin O'Neill slides his way up there. Nick Kuhn already jumping to third and contact and a turnaround. A spin for Stuart Elder. Somehow no caution yet, but lots of contact for the 115. He's already towed it.
Yeah, there's not going to be a caution for that one either. Now they set the thing off the track. Shame to start this thing out and not even finish the lap and get, all 4 corners knocked off the thing. And right now, O'Neill looks like he's running away with it up here.
They're saying technical issues, part of the reasoning there for the contact. Yeah, there's a good reason. If you don't know where they are, how are you supposed to give space?
If they can't see you, they can't keep it off of you. And it's a shame. I think we've all gone through that at some point on here.
Lap traffic playing a bit of a factor for a moment. The leader, the 36, not having a fun time with the race leaders. But Nick Kuhn in the Dog Bear machine is on the bubble, and he's built up a very solid buffer. Never mind. Lap traffic chose middle, and that just cost Kuhn half of his buffer time.
Number 2, that lap car is the one that started from the pits too, as well. Oh, and he's just right in the way of everybody right now. That machine of Avorsky just about bend it, trying to find a way by him.
Scusi really uncomfortable right now with less than 10 laps to go. Roger Shank already up to 5th. Here's a look at your leader, Austin O'Neill. You predicted he'd do well. Well, he's one of your highest I-rated drivers on the dirt in this sim tonight. Not a shock.
Yeah, we're seeing exactly how that pays off too. And also Morton, forgot to mention too, I don't think I've seen anybody do as many laps in practice before we started this thing tonight than Morton. It's like every time I looked out at the track, that thing was on track. So maybe he's going to pick up something a little bit quicker than the rest of these guys have before this night's over with.
Also, Neil, one of the rear world racers in the field as well tonight. Experience running sprint cars, pulling off and away. Looking at some of the air battling, Nick Kuhn under pressure. Bobrovsky, one of the Evolve entries, looking to cut, looking for a dive. Less than 5 laps to go. Here's the slider.
Oh, and an easy slide too, but coming back on the bottom, charges Kuhn. He's going to get right back in front of him. Bobrovsky got way too crossed over there, lost a lot of momentum. He's going to fight back on the top out of 3 and 4, though, and he's going to get it back into 1 and 2.
Less than 4 laps to go. Nick Kuhn tries the bottom, doesn't go. Some slick is starting to build up at parts of the top of the racetrack. Not so much the bottom yet. Kuhn needs to find a miracle. Bobrovsky has found another gear.
He's just up there. He's working that cushion as best as he can. He's getting really good runs all the way through the corner and down the straightaway. And it's until you get up there and get up on it, you're not going to be able to get him back.
Up front, though, Austin O'Neill pulling away from everybody. He will take the white flag. 1 to go, presented by Ryko. This time by Austin O'Neill. Just plastered on speed. 14.9s. He's running a 10th or 2 quicker than the field. How will it fare in the future? We'll see later. Austin O'Neill, we'll see you later. Justin Morton, Trevor Bobrovsky also advance. Nick Kuhn is out. Roger Shank, Ronald McPherson, Mark Santana. The rest of your finishers, Joshua Susie and Stuart Elder, finishes as a DNF 11 laps down. And Austin trying to find a way to pit road to celebrate. Not going to be enough time. Our next grouping of drivers is already set to go for heat number 4. David Gargaro Jr., Joseph Holman inside the 2nd spot. Nathan Dowd, Ryan Steele in 4th. Brian McGreevy, Stephen Paulison, Jordan Slater, Timothy Close. Your 8 entries here, Sheldon. Now it gets interesting.
A little bit lighter on the field this time. Hey, what, man, that last one, that was one heck of a show. I mean, we had that one little incident at the start, not a single caution, though. It went flag to flag. I'm hoping we get to see the same thing here, because these guys are... It's fun watching them, get out here and actually have to work for it without having the, the cautions, bring them all back together.
Yeah, but we still have plenty of racing to go here. How have you noticed this track transition here with how it's been shuffling? Because we're starting to see some slick being put down.
From the looks of it, that top line is getting incredibly overpowered the more they get out here, which I was expecting no less. But as unfamiliar as I am with dirt, what comes next, I'm not 100% sure. But I'll get with you when I see it.
So let's find out here how this plays out for the restart. Or should I say the initial start of Heat 4. 15 more laps up on the board. Alvin outside. Gargaro Jr. on the inside. The Evolve cars showing good flashes of pace. Same for the U-Dogs. Green, green, green. Underway again. The 42 is off and away. Sector 5's Nathan Dowd up to second.
Nice battle shaping up here for third right now already with Homan and Steele. Steele on the inside. Homan running up on top. Steele's going to cycle in back behind Homan, though. Couldn't really get anything done on the bottom. And a huge slide for fifth with Slater.
For the race lead, Dowd in the Sector 5 entry. Squeezes the 42 a touch. Carl Jr. having to get out of the gas and lets Nathan Dowd have it. Goes for the slider back as third settles down. First is contact. First place making contact. Carl Jr. making contact and sawing off the nose of Nathan Dowd in the process.
That's the first pass for the lead we've seen tonight so far, too. Dowd is looking really strong. I don't think that battle's over, especially with the contact. These tempers, it's really easy to set them off.
Now an air cut for Dowd, trying to run to the inside, make it middle. Slides, gets some slick, built on the right side tires. Works towards the inside, towards the berm, towards the wall, should say. The shuffle back up top side as they get higher and higher up on the cushion. So this track works its way in. Steele being hounded by pressure, though. Jordan Slater trying to live like it's the last lap. He's going to the slide for third.
Oh, look at this. We got a four-way battle going on right now. Dowd back, diving down on the bottom, trying to get something done for the lead, but not able to do it. Can't keep the power up. Oh, and your leader, Gogoro, just hit the fence.
Still been able to maintain the momentum, though. Still Dowd. Now under pressure, he's losing ground as he's lost the top from all this. Contact, 3 wide for the race lead. Hard off the gas is Steele. Now a slider put in for second. Slater tries to park it, gets doored, makes contact. 3 wide again for second. Once again, Slater slides to the top, slammed into the wall. Ryan Steele with a naughty block.
And how about Dowd getting the 3-for-1 special there? Just went 3 wide, or 4 wide just about, past 3 cars, got the lead. And now he's running away with it while these guys are back here fighting it out for second.
And Gargaro Jr. has something wrong with his car. He has dropped back significantly from that. Jordan Slater seems like he's not done yet, though. We already read what's on his spoiler for tonight. He seems to be one of those drivers right now who is not afraid to build up a pass and go for it.
These guys are putting on a tremendous show right now. Slater's still hounding Steele, coming out of 3 and 4 down into 1 and 2 now. Diving down to the bottom. Is he going to be able to get it done? Doesn't look like it's. That outside line is so cooked right now compared to what the bottom has. It's just so hard to get the momentum to be able to do it. I mean, even with a fresh track.
Yeah, seems to be right now in a position where he can just be happy on the transfer. The bubble has built up significantly after all. The white flag presented by Ryko this time by. 1 lap to go. Nathan Dowd running away with it. Sector 5 going to be happy here. Their organization mainly focuses on oval. They've branched out a lot in recent years. Sector 5 finds a sector in victory lane. Second spot Steele, Slater in third. Girl Jr. first out, McGreevy, Paulson, Klaus, Holman. The drivers knocked out in heat number 4.
Man, I just cannot get over the move that Dowd pulled to get that lead. I figured he was out, and he proved me wrong within a corner of thinking it.
Well, we have one more heat to go, and then we go to the LCQs for the night. Joshua Wolf, he'll be the next one to start us off in a field. He'll be alongside Brian Barnes. Then it's Christopher Daniel and Robbie Bradbury. Brian Scribner inside the top 5. Phil Otto in 6th. Jake Fox, Brian Bennett, your 8 in the field here, Sheldon. And now, pressure is on. These are your last 3. They get a direct bid to the feature, the top split feature.
I don't think they can get much more aggressive than what we saw in that last one and still keep it clean. That was incredible. What we just saw with that last heat. I'm excited to see what we get here.
Overall, how have your keys changed as we've seen this track age? And as we've seen these drivers pick up different things in these races, what are your keys in Heat 5?
Yeah, the key in Heat 5 is stapler up there on that cushion. Hope it sticks. Try not to jump it and try to run away from these guys. This place is it's getting really racy right now, though, too, at the same time.
Gonna find out how this now goes, why don't we? So now we get ready to go. Green flag is out, off and away we go. Already a clean launch for Wolf. He pulls off for Barnes. Daniel shuffles to third. A lot of squabbling in the back. Robbie Bradbury getting pushed around.
Oh, that looked like a little bit of teammate chaos there.
Yeah, a lot of squabbling and shuffling. So now we get things resorted and regrouped in the line. Wolf holds on to the point. Still looking around as Barnes holds on to second, but others trying to figure out what they can do. Caution flag is out. Caution. And believe it might have been Phil Otto having some problems. He parked it on the racetrack.
That's it's not a good place to put it, but can't park there.
So now we get set up again.
I'd like to know what happened with the, because it looked like Bradbury and Shrevner got together on lap 1 or lap 2 there. The 70 machine's got a little bit of damage to the left rear, it looks like. I think those two might have made a little contact.
So now we get regrouped once again, just like that. Joshua Wolf got such a big jump originally, Sheldon. It's not going to be easy to beat him by the looks of it.
No, it's so hard to be able to beat the control car, especially on dirt. Because they have, you know, the whole thing, there's no restart zone here, right? Like, we don't have that in dirt, right?
No.
It's been a long time for me. Yeah, so they can pretty much just drop that throttle at any point once that pace truck steps in and the spotter says the truck's on pit road, and you know, it's so hard for these guys to be able to anticipate that. Then you factor that in with, you know, the potential wheel spin.
Now we get set again. Lap 3 coming to an end when we take the green. Now we're back to rumbling. Green, green, green. Good launch by Wolf. Barnes. Daniel trying to hold on to third, but Brian Scribner takes away the top, zips his way to third, but hits the wall.
Yeah, but he's got that outside momentum. Let's see if he can get it done here. Yes, he can. 20 machine just could not get the power down to get up there in front of Scrivener. It's
still trying it though. Still trying to get the bottom to work. No. He'll have to regroup and reset. Up to the top, Daniel finally shuffles back topside. He's trying to go very high for the diamond off the cushion.
Daniel trying to build that momentum down the back straightaway, but not quite able to contend with what Scrivener got up there on the outside. Bumper to bumper coming out of 3 and 4. Don't think he's be able to set him up though to get a pass. It looks like that inside's kind of just used up at this point.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like anybody's willing to go down there at this point for the slider. It's too tacky. It's right now built up a lot of slick as well in the middle. Still halfway through this race. Taking a look at some of the others, including Brian Bennett. He's lost a lot of ground, so take him out of the equation for the time being. Bennett, he's struggling off the pace, by a couple tenths.
Yeah, Bennett went and tried to get down there on the middle, and as soon as he got down there, it just about came around on him. Did a good job saving it, but really hurt his speed down the straightaway after that. Daniel is relentlessly trying anything he can to try and find a way to get into that transfer spot right now, and it looks like he might have it. No contact.
More rubbing and bumping for a transfer spot coming up 5 laps to go. Right now, Brian Bennett taking the opportunity to pounce. Goes way inside. So pull it down a lot. Couldn't make it work. Now Daniel tries to get a cut to get alongside Scrivener. Seems a bit quicker. Apex now needs to figure out the corner exit.
And Bennett still charging down on the bottom. Cannot seem to get it done, though. Right now, Scrivener's, got the line. He's got the opportunity in front of these guys with the clean air. Just mounting the cushion all the way around here. It's going to be really hard for any one of these two to get by him.
Got around to 2 laps to go. Daniel providing pressure. Tries to cut underneath Scrivener. Again, gets tight. Trying to run all the way up to the wall just about. Trying to plaster that speed against the fence. All the way through, a little bit lower than the cushion this time. Now for the cushion. White flag is out, presented by Ryko. Wolf on his way to victory. But the battle for the transfer comes down to this. Daniel tries to get a diamond. Scrivener holds on. One more slider. Here comes Daniel trying to park the bus. Scrivener over-rotates. And Daniel rips it away at the stripe. Barnes, Daniel, your transfers with Wolf. Scrivener is out. Brian Bennett, Jake Fox, Robbie Bradbury, and Phil Otto also do not advance directly to the feature.
What a awesome finish there. What a heck of a battle between Scrivener and Daniel. Oh, looks like Wolf's going to get it in the victory lane before they pull him off.
And so now we set up the alphabet. The C main will bring 3 people directly to the feature, 20 laps the distance. But we also have a lot more cars. 14 work their way to the alphabet. Don Dolson up front, Nick Kuhn in second, Brian Scrivener, Mark Miller, Brian McGreevy, Brett Trozen, Ronald McPherson, Jake Fox, Robert Northway, Timothy Klaus, Stephen Verweyen, Joshua Susi, Phil Otto, Scott Kukes are your 14 that are set to race in the C main and try and battle to go directly to the feature here.
Yeah, I'm expecting this right here is where the chaos is going to start. Got a big field, 14 cars. Really, really worn out racing surface. At this point, I think it's going to be a battle of attrition for a lot of these guys.
Yeah, 20 minutes, 20 laps, whatever comes first. And we are just about at the point where the lights are ready to turn on the racetrack. There's been a lot of rubber buildup as well. The temperature up to 68 in sim for the track, compared to starting off at 63 with the dirt. And you can see that a lot happen here where it starts cool because, well, it's dirt. But a lot of energy buildup has been put into the racetrack so far.
Yeah, this place is unrecognizable compared to the surface that we started with. And I can imagine from the driver's seat, too, it doesn't even feel anything like the track that they started out on either.
We'll see how the C main plays things out. Our first of 2 LCQs. Ace truck is off. Green flag is out. Underway as Dolson leads them to the flag. And a clean launch as your top 3 already seen. Scrivener making contact with Miller. Miller pushed way up out of the groove. Scrivener not taking any chances. He's got the elbows out.
And the 19 of Kuhn is going to get a really good launch there on the outside line and walk away with the lead. They still battle for second place right now with Scrivener on the top. He's going to get the momentum and pull ahead of Dolson. And we got a car wrecked on the infield, on the inside wall.
Caution, caution, caution. And we're back under yellow with that one. Robert Northway making apologies over the radio. Let's see what happened.
Down there low and slowed up and slapped Bluey right in the face.
Well, definitely came down a bit there. You can see where the apology was warranted. Brawayan, good example of the damage model. He is demolished. And we've had a disqualification in sim, by the way. Out of the sim for now is the 36. He's done.
These things are a lot more fragile than they used to be. It's pretty cool to see.
Yeah.
iRacing has done such a tremendous job in this. Since I've come back, because I went on a little hiatus for a couple years. I needed a break. Life stuff came up and everything. And I came back. The tire model's better than it's ever been. The damage models are incredible. The aerodynamic physics and everything. iRacing has done a great job revolutionizing everything that they had out here. And like the latest build update too with the truck, man, it's just insane how it actually feels like what you see on the weekends now.
Yeah, a lot more difficult to run the trucks, to say the least. But now, we get ready for a restart here. Don Dolson lost the lead to Nick Kuhn with scoring loops. Scrivener got the elbows out last time to be able to try and pass by Mark Miller. Miller tried to jump it from the outside, couldn't. Now Scrivener, long side for third. Miller not able to keep it pinned. He got two loose.
So we're gonna be side by side here in the 3 and 4. Scrivener's gonna move up in a second though. He's gonna pull the slide on Dolson and get in front of him. That 514 of Miller is just way down there on the bottom, almost hitting the inside wall, trying to find some grip.
Miller trying to get the rhythm back down. He's up now, back inside the top 3 after initially struggling. Dolson's gone the wrong way off this restart. He looked solid to start in the last run. Not anymore. The caution flag is out.
No, looks like they got caught in another one here. No, that thing's done.
Juana McPherson also destroyed. Brawayan. He didn't even have a spoiler anymore. Brawayan did before this. He gets turned for it.
Yeah, he was fighting it and got a significant helping hand there from the 80 machine of Klaus. Sorry, Klaus. My eyes are bad.
And then you have somebody who went straight, just hard right into the wall. That was McPherson, just tank slapper.
That's unique. I'd like to see what happened on board there if we can. If we got time. I don't think we have time.
Yeah, hard crunch there, still on lap 5. So at least 2 drivers out. Let's take a look at the replay. McPherson doesn't even have a right front anymore.
I wonder if something went... Looks like maybe his wheel disconnected.
He turned so hard left that it decalibrated. I'm not sure.
I'm wondering if he went in there because like when you go in and you have some wheels, if you have the axis cranked to the, slightly moved to the left, it'll continue fully rotating whatever you're doing, and it'll match your throttle and your brake and all that fun stuff too. And because it's weird that he went all the way to the left like that and then it just went dead straight at the same time, like the wheel itself, the position. Anyway, we're green again.
Oh, and a bad start for Scrivener. He was up in second. Not anymore. He had a bogged down restart. Up to second is Mark Miller. Scrivener still third. Bluey, Robert Northway all over the racetrack.
When Miller's diving down to the inside of Kuhn here, going to try and get the lead. Is going to be able to do it? No, he's going to wash out in the middle of 1 and 2. Does a good job saving it.
Now, once again, Miller tries to wrap the bottom. Slots up. Nearly parks in front of Scrivener. Right now, the top 3 where they need to be in terms of keeping it clean. But Northway is coming. He's looking for 4th.
Northway down here on the inside. Oh, car up top got a little loose there. I think it's Dolson. Still diving the bottom here. Northway's up to 4th. Trying to get to the bottom of Scrivener here into 3 and 4.
Still trying to make his way around. Still trying to wrap his way around. All of that's with Scrivener. Again, getting the power down. Still playing good defense. Northway getting the poke. Trying to run for the inside wall. Still trying to work the inside. Try to work where everybody else is not.
That's the only way you're going to get by them, too, is if you're running where they're not and you can somehow find speed. You see right there in front of him, Scrivener's moved down to the bottom and try and cover that. As he slides up, just about catches the fence out of 4. We got a battle for the lead right now with Miller and Kuhn.
As cross flags here in this LCQ. Kuhn still preferring the high grooves. Miller preferring to wrap the bottom here. Oh, that's with Northway resetting, trying to find a way to gather up. Robert Northway, one of the top drivers in this series for a couple of years now. He slots his way up to 3rd. The slide job complete.
And it works, but here comes Scrivener back on the bottom, trying to repeat what he just did. Trying to hit him with a crossover. Not going to work, though. He's going to wash out in the middle. We got Northway moved up to 3rd here. He's going back down to the bottom, trying to charge to get by Miller. Just about clears him.
Yeah, a bit of contact there for 2nd.
He's got him.
Got him for sure. But Miller wants to cross him up. Caution. Caution with about 6 to go. And not sure where the caution was, but we did have someone try and enter the pit road right at the yellow flag.
.242 machine and Kukas, and yeah, pit road looks a little tricky to get into.
Yeah, because it's not designed to be brought into under green flag conditions. And that seems to be our reason for the caution flag here. But a 5-lap shootout here in this one, Sheldon.
Tell you what, it's about to get exciting. Not like it hasn't been already, though. I do kind of hate to see that we got that caution, though, because it was about to get really dicey here for the lead. Because Northway has found something, and he's been hauling the second half of this stage.
And currently, Kuhn, Northway, Miller, your transfers. As we continue on with the preparation, since we're inside, certain mark for the restart here, about 10 to go is that cutoff, believe. We're going to have a single file restart. Going to make it very difficult for Scrivener and company to be able to try and make this pass work. Will they try and dime it off the corner, or will they keep it straight up next to the cushion for the restart? Northway tries to get a small cut. Green flag is out. 5 laps to go.
Kuhn gets a good launch. Northway's still right there with him, though. Northway's going to dive down to the bottom. You got Miller even lower than that. They're going to be side by side coming into turn 3, though. Northway to the bottom.
Northway,
and he's going to get the lead from Kuhn.
He's got it. Northway takes it away with less than 5 laps to go. Kuhn still in 2nd. Miller under pressure. Scrivener puts it in the wall, trying to get to the outside. Dolson in the wall. He's got a problem. He's got a broken race car, but it's too late to come down. Less than 3 laps to go. Scrivener, again, is hitting the walls, trying to get to that outside, coming to 2 to go.
Scrivener giving everything he can to try and get back into that transfer spot, trying to find something on Miller. Got a huge charge here. Miller's going to block him, though. And a yellow.
Caution with 2 laps to go. And now we'll see what they do here. Ryko white flag started to pop up at the time, but we won't get that here. Let's see what happened. And it's Dolson again. Another one stopping on the track. I don't know what else to say, Sheldon, outside of you can't park there, as you said earlier.
Yeah, it's starting to become a trend. A very annoying one at that. I mean, I can understand guys, hitting the pit wall. But man, come on, get off the track somehow. Got some exciting stuff going on here.
Some wild stuff, if anything, with how it's gone.
And I'll tell you what, man, Northway has been a sleeper in this deal tonight. We didn't see anything out of him earlier, and here he is since the track's gotten rough and slicked up and worn out. He's been really booking it compared to everybody else, at least in this heat.
And the reason that keeps popping up, believe, in terms of why the white flag's showing is going to be because when we get back to racing here, it's going to be a one-lap shootout. Just one lap to decide it. And see who transfers. Miller is the bubble driver. Northway in control in the Bluey machine. Green flag is out. One lap shootout, 1 to go and green flag together. Already Miller trying to take the run for second. Scribner did not get the launch he needed. Miller tries to get himself a cushion. Northway takes the cushion to the checkered. He wins second spot, does go the way of Kuhn. Miller in third. Ryan Scribner, first one, gonna be out here. McGreevy, Fox for weigh-in, Otto, Klaus, Trozen, McPherson, and more do not advance. That brings us one more grid to go. And this is going to be an interesting B main. Daniel Stevens, David Gargaro Jr., Wayne Hutchinson, and Roger Shank, Brian Bennett, Sebastian Jackson, Stephen Paulison, and Adam Johnson. Mark Santana, Robbie Bradbury, Damian Coltsy, and Joseph Holman. And Stuart Elder will start at the back along with Josh Mertz here. 14 cars for 3 spots. We've seen how things went the last one. What do you think is going to happen in the final of the LCQs?
I'm expecting an awful lot of desperation and an awful lot of chaos here at this point. I think the niceness has gone out the windows, and I mean, we saw a lot of it with the last race. There's going to be a lot more contact. There's going to be a lot of people trying to move each other. I'm expecting attrition here.
We'll see if the attrition comes to be, or if we get a green to checkered style run. We've seen 3 different drivers in the last LCQ stop on the track. Who are you keeping an eye on the most for this one, and why?
I'm keeping an eye on Stevens. I mean, I know it's easy to say with him starting on the pole here, but I feel like he got snubbed in his heat earlier, and I feel like he's going to go out here and try and show his tail and show why he needs to be in this into the main here in a little bit. Because I felt like he was really fast. He got tore up, though, early in that thing.
Green flag is out. Back underway. 20 laps up on the board. Daniel Stevens with a clean launch. Wayne Hutchinson wraps the bottom. And the battle is on to see who gets into the cushion spots. Oh, in trouble. Roger Shank moved out of the way. He gets stored out of the way by Jackson. They're still stepping on each other. 2 in the wall. No caution yet. Bradbury, and there it is. Roger Shank the wrong way around. And that took a full 2-3 corners as tires get ripped off the cars.
That's just that good old-fashioned domino effect. You had 2 guys get together up in front, and 2 guys turn into 3 guys, turn into 4, and then eventually somebody's going to be missing out on that deal. And I mean, now it's going to be the 948 machine.
that Hoosier tire ripped directly off the car. And that is still dragging its way to pit road. Robbie Bradbury getting some of the worst of it for this caution flag. Bright side, there is the faster pair. But now he's lost all the track position. A lap off the board.
Do they get lapped on pit road here? Yeah.
Well,
because laps don't count, so does he?
That's a great question.
That's a conundrum.
It doesn't look like it, but he definitely doesn't keep the track position. It's like your short track, right? Where, say you have a flat tire, you give up on the track position running, say second, you have to restart, say in 11th, towards the back of the field because you elected to pit and give up the time gained on the track. Now, we're at 1 to go. Stevens, Garguro Jr. on the front row. Right now, the transfer controlled by Wayne Hutchinson. Falling on board with his 17 car as we get set to go. Green flag is out. Stevens with a great launch. Now Brian Bennett looks to set things up along with Adam Johnson for the battle for third.
Bennett also been really aggressive tonight. He's going to get up there to the top. Oh, he's going to get the fence.
And around he goes. Hard contact for the caution.
Oh,
they're
with a teammate.
still wrecking.
That's what I was talking about earlier. Teammates, I don't see how they're much of a help to you here at Eldora. And honestly, for a lot of these guys, it looks like a teammate has been the detriment. See, 71. Bennett gets hard on the fence, rips the wheel off, and just gets eaten by his teammate in the 58.
Paulson, and then they all stack up at the bottom too. Joshua Mertz amongst those who got collected there. Mark Santana picked up significant damage as well from this incident. And that burns another lap off the board.
And it is so hard to be able to react in time. As fast as these laps are and as fast as these cars are, as soon as the wreck happens, you've got basically no opportunity to avoid it, because at the same time, you know, these are dirt cars. You can't really turn off away from a wreck very easy without junking yourself in the process because of how finicky they are.
So now we try this again. Stevens definitely looks like he's dialed into that middle finger racing machine. He has been hard to get a read on for these starts.
Yeah, I really think he's going to be a hard one to get out there and beat, because he was so good in his heat. He got stuffed up into the wall and had a little bit of contact, and I think it tore the car up a little bit, and he never got his momentum back after that.
Coming around this time. Start lap 4. Stevens off and away. Garguro Jr. got a good jump this time. Couldn't keep it alongside though. And Wayne Hutchinson trying to find a hole to poke as Adam Johnson hits the wall.
Hutchinson's still down here on the bottom of Garguro trying to get by him. Not quite able to do it, though. That outside line is still just as strong as it's been all night. And here comes 27 up into third, but a caution.
And we're back under yellow again. Mark Santana had a problem. Same for Roger Shank this time around. Believe Shank is the caution, though, in the 950.
Yeah, just stepped out on him a little bit. Car on his inside, didn't know that was going to happen. Got into the quarter panel, and it just helped him back around in the other direction.
From the onboard.
Murphy's still got that old fast repair sitting on the pit box right now.
Well, he was already involved in the last caution, so that's not going to help the 950's case. But cautions breed cautions. We've already burned about 7 minutes off this race. This is definitely not going to be helpful for those that are outside the transfers looking for time to pick up. Remember that after this LCQ, split things off from where we are in the top split session and follow along with the consolation main. Those who do not advance amongst your top three, essentially most of them get shuffled down to what will be our broadcasted split. Be sure to stay tuned here from Grid Vision. All set to get back underway. Now to start lap 6. Stevens off and away. Clean launch again.
Yep, side by side for second place now. We got 17 of Hutchinson. Not able to get the power down, though. He's going to fall back to 4th. As Johnson's going to move up to the 3rd spot here.
Already a good run by Johnson. Finally finding some pace in his 27. Runs all over the back end of second spot, though. Girl Jr. put in the wall, and now he's got a broken car. Girl Jr. has a problem that allows Hutchinson to move up and take the spot.
Oh, yeah, the 42 machine is absolutely destroyed. Right front completely knocked out of it. Suspension just hanging on by a thread at this point. Oh, that's gonna be a problem.
Broken wheel bearing, and that's going to be a problem to get himself back to pit road here without causing a caution flag. Bradbury, meanwhile, he's got from 10th to 4th, and we have another spinner already towed. That was Brian Bennett, and there's the caution. Hearing it might be Gargaro Jr. who tried to get on pit road. Can confirm he hit the tire barrier while trying to pit this time.
I didn't expect any less, man. That right front's completely knocked out of it. He's trying to get it down there because he does not want to be on track when these guys come around to lap him. Just gets down there, and a hard turn to make already. Made it even harder. Riding with Bennett now.
Already had a lot of suspension damage, and this definitely broke it.
Yeah. Just jumped the cushion there and went right on into the fence.
Already halfway through the clock. Already on lap 9. And that situation kind of opens things up a little bit. Robbie Bradbury is flying through this field here, Sheldon.
I would not be surprised to see him fighting here for the transfer, that is for sure. He's been pretty good tonight, and I mean, had a lot of attrition throws away here. You know, at the start of this thing, wasn't he in a wreck at the beginning of this one? Now he's up here in 4th.
Great race up here so far, yeah. But how long will it last?
I'll say if he makes it in, talk about the recovery of the night.
Stevens, Johnson, Hutchinson in the transfer spots right now. Lap 10 underway. And we're back underway again. Stevens preferring top groove. Johnson clears for second.
A little bit of fence for Bradbury there coming into 3 and 4. Gonna make a huge run there on the 17 of Hutchinson. But Hutchinson's gonna fight back hard on the bottom here. Not able to get it done.
Not yet. Now, we see a lot of people trying the bottom. Already a lot of people having a pit there yet again. But up front, Adam Johnson trying to give Daniel Stevens a bit of a test. Bradbury trying to test for the bubble.
I think Bradbury's got the speed to do it. He's just got to be able to get the thing through and out of the corner straight enough to do it. He's washing it a little bit in center, and that's what's hurting him the most.
going to be a little bit of an interesting time, to say the least, right now, but will Bradbury find a way around? He's preferring to run the bottom. Same for Hutchinson. Coming around to 6 laps to go. You see the differences now. Trying to find a way on the cushion. Had to slow down significantly for the cut. Bradbury takes the bottom and over-rotates it.
Oh, just about loses it there on the inside of Hutchinson. Hutchinson's doing a great job just being a nuisance and making it hard for Bradbury to get by him. I think Bradbury's got the speed to do it. He just can't get it planted well enough to get it done.
Yeah, right now, seems like he's got the pace to be there, but not yet to pass. Less than 5 to go. Big bomb over Hutchinson. Bradbury's got the pace now to pass with that move.
That huge slide on Hutchinson there coming out of 4 really opened up the door for Bradbury, and Bradbury did a great job getting the pedal down, keeping it straight, and getting by him. And I don't see what Hutchinson can do now. We got 3 laps left on this thing.
Momentum 948. Bradbury needs to make sure no mistakes this time around. Coming to 2 laps to go. Oh, that's with Stevens holding on by half a second. He has been outright quick today in each of his races. Stevens just a few corners away here. Coming up to the white flag, this time by 1 more to go, presented by Ryko. Stevens, Johnson, hold on to the buffer. Stevens has been lightning quick all day, had to go to the LCQ tonight, but he's going to advance to the feature. Adam Johnson finishes second behind him. And rounding out your transfers, Robbie Bradbury moves on. Australia 1, 2, and 3. Stevens, Johnson, and Bradbury. Hutchinson, Shank, Paulison, Colty, Mertz, Jackson, Elder, Bennett, Girl Jr., Santana, Holman, go home. Or in our case, 2 split 2.
Yeah, they come home to us.
Well, on that note, it's time to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll see how things get organized. 100 laps is the feature when we can return here on Grid Vision.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Hey, you know that guy who just before the green flag keys up his mic and asks, "Anybody got a setup?" Well, this is him. This is Adam, and hey, Adam needs some help. On the other hand, this guy over here, this is Steve. Steve is a solid racer and he knows his way around the garage. Steve's problem is time. With a job and a family, he can't find enough time to build competitive setups and to race as often as he likes. But as luck would have it, Steve knows a secret. He lets the Majors Garage crew chiefs do the setup work so he can focus on the racing. At majorsgarage.com, Steve can get setups for over 60 cars on the iRacing service. So no matter what series he wants to jump into, he is covered. Somebody, anybody, really should tell Adam. See you at the garage.
Welcome back to Eldora, where we prepare for what should be an interesting second split for the World 100 here from iRacing's virtual Eldora Speedway. I'm Justin Prince alongside me, Sheldon Atkins, Austin Jarvishar producing as we get set here from the Big E. Auto Racing Showcase since 1954. This clay dirt oval features half a mile of racing, 24 degrees of banking through the turns. Also features just 8 down the straightaways. For many years, it's hosted several big events, including the Kings Royal, the Dirt Late Model Dream, and of course, the World 100. Tonight, we look to see which drivers from this split are able to conquer things. 20 drivers took the opportunity able to try and set times and race here. Looks like all drivers have already finished up their qualification. We'll see if we get an early advancement or not here, Sheldon, in the next few minutes. So, should be a fun time, to say the least, to see who's going to be able to be the fastest on property.
Yeah, it was just so exciting what we saw with the first half of the heats. And I'm really, really excited to see how good of a show these guys put on in the big event here, especially with how fast this track, rubbers up and slicks up. I'm curious to see what lines they're going to find that work, by the end of this thing, because we saw some crazy lines being ran there in that last one. I was not expecting down a half inch off the inside wall to be a viable option here at Eldora, but I was proven wrong.
And now we look to see who's going to be proven right for victory. Again, your conditions, they reset the session. 81 degrees Fahrenheit is the air temperature, a lot hotter than the other one. 68 is your track temperature. So a little bit more hotter conditions compared to what we've seen in the main session. But we'll see how that factors in. It looks like we've had a 21st driver register late. Sebastian Jackson just got in by a minute at the buzzer. Sheldon, who are you keeping an eye on the most here in this heat? Or rather, this group for this feature?
I'm about to go with the 70 machine of Scrivener, because he looked really good in all of his heats, all of his races in the last session, but it just seemed like luck did not pan out with him at any point in any move that he tried to make. So I feel like he's going to come into this thing with a chip on his shoulder. He's fast enough to be in the big show. I think he's going to come out here and try to put on a clinic.
See if he's going to be able to put on the clinic. Tonight's charity, being supported by pre-qualification, by the way, is the Rise Above This Disorder organization. Everyone deserves mental health care. They are the nonprofit making that possible. To learn more, go to urad.org to be able to donate and to be able to look to what they do as a charity. Qualifying has come to a close. 21 entries made their way into this second split to be able to battle it out here at Eldora after trying to battle amongst the 60 or so for the feature earlier on tonight. On the pole, Brian Scribner, David Garguro Jr. starts alongside. The difference for the pole time, about 11/100ths of a second, 1,000ths in fact. Joseph Holman, Don Dolson start row number 2. Row number 3, Stuart Elder, Brian McGreevy in the 15 flats. Then it's Stephen Verweyen in 7th. Jake Fox will start in the 8th position. A quiet race for him so far tonight. Roger Shank in 9th, and Damian Colte rounds out your top 10, Sheldon.
In 11th place, we got Wayne Hutchison, followed by Stephen Paulson in 12th. 13th is going to be Joshua Mertz, with 14th going to be Mark Santana. 15th is going to be Phil Otto, followed by Timothy Klaus in 16th. 17th is going to be Ron McPherson with Brian Bennett in 18th. 19th is going to be Scott Kukis. And round out your top 20 is going to be Brett Trausen. And Sebastian Jackson is going to be round out your field in 21st.
Jackson just entered the facility now. He might be borderline on if he even makes the grid here. As a result, we'll see if he does make it or not. He is the last car the field is currently waiting on. On that note, your keys to a good feature: 100 laps, 50 minutes. Whatever comes first, your keys for it.
Well, normally we got these things written down in advance, but I'm just going to pull them right off the top of my chest here. Most important thing that I'm going to tell you is chase the groove. Find the traction, because this place changes so fast. And we saw it last race. I figured, after this track got a little slick, go up against the wall, run on the cushion. Man, we had people all the way down the inside fence, rubbing the front valence on the concrete, making speed, moving up to the lead just about. Next up, I have to go with Survive. You cannot win this thing if you're, sitting in the garage taking repairs. We got a huge field, 21 cars, and we saw how crazy it got and how fragile these things are. Surviving is going to be paramount as well.
Those are some of your keys right there. So, real quickly, who's your pick? Our producer's pick for reference was Garguro Jr. Who's your pick?
Like I said a few minutes ago, man, I gotta go with that 70 machine. He was bad fast in all of his heats, and every race he was in the last session. fast in qualifying, just luck did not pan out in his direction, and I feel like this race he's just going to be able to get it done. He's starting up here. He's a control car. He's got the lead, the track position. I think he's going to be able to get it done.
We'll find out if that's going to be the case or not here tonight. iRacing pace truck is off. Green flag is out. We're underway for 100 laps from Eldora. The World 100 starts things off with Scrivener trying to pull away. Many drivers trying to feel out this fairly new track. 50% track usage for the start of this one, and a lot more slick than the natural build. Already one driver having to go and start for the pits in Scott Kukas. Everybody else keeps it clean.
And we got a replay here of what happened with Kukas, it looks like. Ran around here, middle of the pack, just gets loose. The 87 machine gets into him. So that's up at the fence. We got a huge wreck right now.
We're under caution because in live action, Phil Otto just got flipped. Here's another look at what the replays look like here. This is heart of the field. Timothy Klaus. And right upside down for Otto.
Gyro cam. Gyro cam.
Phil Otto sent upside down, and he's already out of the race. He and Scott Kukas, your DNF so far. Here's the gyro cam.
Yes! He is, gets a little loose, gets a little too much wheel. And, boom, there she goes.
And
Wasn't
put
as
onto
violent as
it.
I was expecting.
Yeah, just plopped upside down. So
We had
now,
one,
go ahead.
no, we had one, this is off topic, my ADD kicking in, but we had one that said, I think it was the Coke 600, we had the gyro cam set on, and I got dizzy watching that thing, man. Dude must have flipped like 12 times.
Well, Brian Scrivener got off to a good start, though, at the least. Caution laps do count, by the way, for the feature. What the tire wear expected here tonight. Again, that's going to be a bit of a talking point here, is these tires are expected to burn a lot on the rear. Some people reported near popping them if we went more than 100 laps, hence why the caution laps end up counting for the feature tonight.
I'll tell you what, that right there is a massive life jacket being thrown at these drivers, because, I mean, you get that close, and once you get into racing conditions where you're side by side with people, you're going to end up using a little bit more tire than you were using in practice or you were using in anything else. So, it's going to be a lifesaver.
Green flag is out. Brian Scrivener already to the cushion. The fight's on behind him. Brian McGravy trying to battle with a teammate. Joseph Homan able to shoot his way around for the race lead. Kirk Irwell Jr. trying to wrap the bottom. Tries to slot up. Gets himself the lead lap at least. And now looks to be trying to set himself in the win.
He's got it too. Gogoro Jr.'s got the lead. Real sideways getting into 3 and 4, running the bottom. And Scrivener is still staying up there on that top line. He's committed to it, but we got a car stopped and looks like 1 and 2. No caution though.
Colty, this time at least a couple others were involved. We stay green. Colty had been running around the mid to backpack before that point. Yeah, tire flopped around a couple, in fact.
He did a good job keeping it straight and keeping it up there against the wall, says we didn't get a caution. That's a very, very respectable move, but we got one now.
In live action, we've just had a crash because of some of those who broke wheels, like Mark Santana. And guess what? A hard, vicious one. These two, Sebastian Jackson involved. He's already out of the race on a tow. Right here, trying to avoid the traffic.
Oh, that is a hard hit.
And that definitely broke the wheels. That suspension completely shattered.
Yeah, that's gonna be a trip out of here tonight. Because I don't think they have any fast repairs left for this, do they?
They do have a fast repair, but
Oh.
they don't get to make up ground if you have to take a tow. Ron
That's gonna be-
McPherson also in, by the way. Mark Centeno took the fast repair. Colty's already in the pit lane. Stuart Elders had to come to the pit lane as well. It's a lengthy West Sheldon that's already been built up, and we're not even at the quarterway mark.
Yeah, it's a shame to see that many cars get tore up, but at the same time, once you kind of get those guys that don't have it figured out move to the wayside, it makes for cleaner, greener racing the later we get into this thing. I know nobody wants to sit here and watch 100 laps pacing, and I don't think we're going to get that. I think these guys are going to get, their heads about them where they need to be, and we're going to have a really good show here after a little bit.
Not sure what the 34 is doing here, but coming up to the green flag. Gargoyle Jr. in control. Hits the loud pedal, back it away. Brian Scribner way up the track. McGreevy looks to take away second this time.
Yeah, right now, Scribner's just making himself a sitting duck up there on the top. The top is not worked in yet, does not have the advantage over the bottom, and he's just taking the train to the back. You can't lose track position like that, I don't imagine. And we got another yellow.
And we're under yellow for Ronald McPherson again. We've also had some of the Sector 5 cars with a problem, including Stephen Paulison try and pit.
Oh, man. 58 was already around.
Black flags all throughout the field from that start, by the way, with what was going on with the 34. Paulison, McGreevy, Elder, Holman, and Shank. That would explain why Paulison decided, I'm going to pit in the heart of the field and miss the pit road.
Gets up, makes a little bit of netcode contact with the 71, tries to come in. 23 is behind him. It's no signal. And just round they go.
And that destroyed Paulison's car, obviously. But apparently, believe the black flag was because of passing under yellow or something along those lines. A lot of people might have to come down under green because of that, if I'm understanding that correctly.
Yeah, that passing under yellow, that's not an EOL. That is a you have to come down. Otherwise, they will stop scoring you. That's one of the worst one to get. One of the worst penalties to get.
Want to go signal on lap 18. We still have 5 different drivers who need to serve a black flag here. And that includes Paulison. So, Gargoyle Jr. in front. McGreevy is up to second. Scribner trying to stay up on the cushion. Is in third now. He'll lose that access for now. Green, green, green. Back on her way. Scribner wants his second spot back from the inside.
It's the first time we've seen Scrivener on the bottom side of the track since we ended the last few heats, and I'm hearing more contact in the back right now. The 04 of Dolson, hard up against the wall, right front destroyed on it.
Already a fifth of the way through the action. Keeping an eye on when people serve penalties right now. But at the moment, most people running middle to bottom. That's going to make it difficult. If anybody else tries to serve a black flag right now, this is going to be an interesting time, but the leader is having a fun time up front.
One right there. Dolson
Caution.
trying to come in. I think he hit the
And
barrier.
He tried to pit, yeah. He was not one of your penalty cars, by the way.
He had the right side tore up from that contact he had with the wall.
Let's take a look here. Yep, that's a stop. That's a stop at the track.
Yeah, racing needs to maybe forego those barriers here at some point.
couple drivers did serve the penalties, by the way. Holman, Paulison, McGreevy still yet to serve. So we'll see what they do here and if the session gives them a DQ or not. Now, normally in, say, the rallycross, they give you a time penalty at the end because you can't obviously serve it during the race because there's no active pit road. This is one of those situations where there's technically not an active pit road here, but there is a pit road to serve the penalty, and that seems to be causing a problem now. Looks like we've had another driver at least serve the penalty, and Paulison finally. So a confusing one here, coming to lap 25. Garguro Jr. off and away. Scrivener is in second. Verweyen is up to third here. And it's 3 wide with some of the UDOX cars trying to find the way around the 8. Caution. And we've had someone spinning around in turn 1, Stuart Elder.
This is getting rough out there right now.
Apparently, report of spotter said, I am not there.
I don't think the spotter had time to key up there. 115 took a late dive down in 1, and the 80 just had no clue he was there.
So, lap 27, your thoughts on this one so far, Sheldon?
Chaotic so far. A lot of yellows. I'm hoping this thing cleans itself up here soon. I know Scrivener's definitely wanted to clean up because he looked really good once his track got a little worn out in the last one.
As we work our way under caution, tonight's action brought to you in part by Ryco Performance. At Ryco Performance, more than a setup shop or a performance provider, providing you weekly data setups, get you ahead of the curve on the competition. Whether a seasoned sim racer or a weekend warrior, our cutting-edge data packs and one-on-one coaching sessions are tailor-made to push the limits of yourself and your virtual race car, giving you the winning edge you crave. For more information, visit ryco-motorsports.com. where we build champions and deliver results. Green flag is out, back underway again. And still more black flags. Dolson, Holman, Elder, and McGreevy. Now they have to serve penalties in this after this restart.
Oh man, it's getting tricky for a lot of these guys here. As we see a battle with the 8 and the 68 here. Verweyen gonna hold off the spot though. McGreevy was all up in the fuel cell of that 8 machine there for a second.
McGreevy still holding on. He is currently net 4th. His teammate having a penalty box type of situation for later on in the race. It looks like they may apply that to the end of the race. But the way it is shuffling, Don Dolson is pitting this time by. Or had some damage and now will serve that penalty. So, we continue on through here as there's different speeds. There's the pit stop and another driver just trying to pit. All of that's with Garguro Jr. continuing to control the front.
That's the place to be right now with all these wrecks, all these black flags being thrown. You want to be up there in the front. You want to be hanging that thing out and not worrying about anything aside from getting a good restart. That's exactly what this top 3's doing for sure. Oh, we got contact. Scrivener just got muscled up by Verweyen.
Verweyen really getting the elbows out for second, why don't he? Now he tries to work the middle. Lots of slick built up on entry. Oh, and contact! Caution flag. McGreevy went to the wall, but the yellow flag, not sure. Yes, it is Timothy Klaus who stopped on the track this time. First up, the replay for second.
So the 8 down here with a big charge on the bottom. Tries to get down there, get to his door, try to pull something on him, and not enough track for him to really be able to make a move. Kept his foot in it, though.
And this is the reason for the caution. Oh, boy. .143 involved Ronald McPherson.
Yeah, I just wouldn't be wanting teammates in this thing.
Well, it's not something you can control at this point.
No.
You know
It
what?
just seemed like bad luck.
Well, you're saying that, and it's a team 1-2 up at the front with Evolve.
Yeah, they're looking pretty good out here tonight. Weighing really aggressive though with that pass that he had on Scrivener there to get to second place. I'm wondering how hard he's going to race his teammate Garguro there for first. Because you want to be in control of this thing. You want to be leading this thing. You want to be the control car on the restarts. Because it's such a big advantage.
So coming up towards lap 39. And right now, looking solid on time. We're about 20 minutes down off the clock this time. Green flag is out, back to racing. Garguro Jr. clears on by with still about 2/3 of the way to do with this racetrack.
Garguro with a good launch, 3/10 ahead of Verwain. We got a battle right now for second place though. Scrivener on the inside of Verwain. Wonder if he's going to try to return the favor for the contact that was made a couple laps ago.
Already a slot up from the 70, Scrivener. Scrivener trying to hold on still as they deal with the teammates behind. Both of the drivers from UDocs do have black flags in session. They have not served yet, so they're going to be shuffled back possibly by the very end. We'll see what the sim does in their regard as a result. Top 5 right now breaking away by more than a second and a half.
Got a handful of cars jumping the cushion there, 1-2, and still contact again between the 170, the 68.
Caution
One
flag.
backs out in front of the field.
Don Dolson, 10 seconds later, slams right on in as the 68 rolled it down the track.
That's the problem too. The 68 went to back it down. Or sorry, the 222 is who he got up into, and these two have made a little bit of contact here tonight prior to this. 68 stuck up there at the top. Here comes Dolson. Everything's clear. Can't see him. Then he backs down. There's nothing Dolson could have done.
The caution was well already out. That bumper, whoa, my physics.
I can't tell if that's a spoiler or a helicopter blade.
I think it's a helicopter blade. Yeah, that's a new one.
Look at that thing shake.
Usually don't focus on that, but hey, when helicopter blade gonna helicopter blade, what else can you say? This is again the reason for the caution.
Yeah, I love that gyro camera.
Yeah, that was a decision. A wild decision. So now let's try this yet again. Garguro Jr. going early this time. And we're back underway. Brian Scrivener looking for second. A bit of contact. Verweyen not appreciative of the slide. Verweyen holds on to third.
Everything's single filing out here for a little bit. Got the 8 machine for Wayne trying to tie back down to the bottom though. Not going to be able to get the 222 of Harmon clear. Or Holman. I need to get my eyes looked at.
Yeah, Holman still has not been able to find a way around though. Is got the better line on the cushion, better wraparound inside for weighing on the speed and the setup. A lot more slide though from the inside compared to outside. Holman up to third.
Holman looking really good, wrapped up there around the cushion on the top of the track. Getting a good run down the straightaway here. He's going to get the run and clear for Wayne. Verwayne still sticking it out in that middle though.
Some of the other battles facing up on the racetrack. Some so far, Brian Bennett trying to hold things down. Wayne Hutchison's dealing with a little bit of damage. He's up to 6. Fox and Trozen are the last lead lappers, but the caution flag is out again. And
That was
what
third place.
happened here? That
Back in-
was lap traffic. No, it was the battle for third that just imploded, rather, Sheldon.
I knew aggression was going to be a big part of it tonight, but man, I wasn't expecting it to be like this. Here we go. Yeah.
Yeah, lap
58.
traffic did come into play.
And 58 was in front of the 222, and he tried to slow down to avoid getting into the back of him, and it's just there's no time to react.
There's a look on board once again.
That's a hard hit, too. That tore up 2 really good cars.
And Holman's already jumped out of the car as a result of that traffic incident. That leaves 2 main contenders left. Garguro Jr. and Scribner are now the favorites here. Garguro Jr. seems to have a lot more speed in the clean air, though. That's going to make it tricky. Brian Bennett is up to third, though, from 18th starting spot.
Yeah, Bennett's been moving through this field here, and these guys just getting, into junk and tearing the stuff up. It's just only playing to his benefit, too. Up here in the 3rd spot, looked pretty good earlier tonight. I wouldn't be surprised at all if he made a charge for the win here.
Just past the cross flags already in this one. Garguro Jr. off and away. And into the wall. Still able to get the cut in the grip that he needs, though. Bennett still holds the fort for third. All while Scribner tries to hold up the top side, try and build up some momentum. Caution. And another yellow. We've had several more flip over. Mertz, Jackson, and believe Jake Fox in it.
Yeah, Verwayne just really helped him out there getting into 3 and 4. Had somebody find the spoiler off the 08?
At least 2 of the Kingsman racing machines got involved in that stack up, by the way. We're running out of lead lap cars here with how things are going.
At this rate, I think we'll be running out of cars before too long.
And we've had Holman come out on the racetrack, so he's back in the competition, but laps down. Brett Trozen is still on the lead lap, by the way. He's the last one on said lead lap, now in 6th via survival of the fittest. And We'll try and restart this again. So far, Gargoyle Jr. has been well in hand, in control. Brian Scrivener in second, Bennett, Hutchinson, Verweyen, Trozen, the top spots. Let's go again. iRacing pace truck is off. Green flag is out. Gargoyle Jr. with a good launch. Oh, and someone just came out of the pit road and nearly turned the leaders. Bennett spooked. That allows for Weigh-in with a run.
Weigh-in, carving his way back through this field incredibly fast after his incident earlier. Hard to believe the thing only had 3 wheels a handful of laps ago. Move him back up to P3, and he's on the hunt to try and get back to Scrivener.
It's going to take a lot of time right now. A lot of momentum need to be built up. Bennett nearly comes up and turns around him. In fact, with it 40 laps to go right now, still down to just 6 on the lead lap. What's going through the psyche, the mindset now with what this race has turned into, you think?
Just survival. Push as hard as you can until you get another caution, because you know there's probably going to be another one here before too long. As I'm speaking, there it is. The goal now is just to try and get that lead as soon as you can off this restart.
Now, what triggered this one? Was that McPherson? And the answer is yes, it was. And that ended up collecting somebody else. Couldn't see the number there. Believe it was Stuart Elder. Meanwhile, Fox, just as we were coming to the green flag, finished up his tow, took the faster pair, and then nearly turned the leaders for good measure. So, cautions breed cautions. And under 40 laps to go. Your thoughts now, Sheldon, as we approach the home stretch?
Yeah, I'm just hoping that they get this thing clean so we can have a good, battle to the end at least. Because it's just been absolutely chaotic since they dropped the rag at the start of this thing.
Still 6 on the lead lap. And it looks like we have a delayed restart. Somebody had to stop at the racetrack, Sebastian Jackson. So to reset the field, some of the drivers weren't even ready yet for the restart. It looks like based on the positionings either. So we'll try this again. Tonight's action brought to you in part by Majors Garage. Unlock your racing potential with Majors Garage. Why them? Proven success, precision setups, personalized coaching, and community support. Why not take the opportunity to rev up your racing journey? Go to majorsgarage.com now. Drive with confidence, race with Majors Garage. Coming to lap 67. Gargoyle Jr. off in green. His teammate nearly got the jump for second.
It'll be interesting to see what he can do down here on the bottom end of the track as he's on the inside of Scrivener. But I really think that top line is starting to come to Scrivener. I've noticed it the past couple of runs, and we're under yellow again.
Mertz this time in it. Another dog bearer entry with him. Scott Kukas from 3 laps down is in the incident.
See what happens here. So down here, gets on the slick, and she comes right around. And the 242 machine just had nowhere to go. You go into the corner, then you get a jump scare from the 23 car.
Another one. And I don't know what else to really say, Sheldon.
I mean, we're sitting here on lap 69, and we've had a caution every. I think the longest run we've had was what, 5-6 laps.
Just received word. Tire wear came up in the top split on sim speed. The front runners started reporting blown tires 70 laps in.
Well, we're not going to have to worry about that much over here, I don't think. As much time as we spent under the yellow.
But I mean, it is pretty substantial to see any sort of tire wear with these cars. We'll see how the restart plays out now. Green, green, green. Gargaro Jr. already clear. Battle was on for second.
Oh, man, Verwayne is really sending it down there on the bottom. Not quite able to get it done, though, and Scribner just got up into the fence. Just not really much cushion left on corner entry. Verwayne sideways down the front straightaway.
Caution again. And contact right as the caution wave too. Not sure who brought out this one, but the list grows. Wow. Ron McPherson again.
Yeah. Right on board with the 23 car here, I believe. Oh, man.
Not been his night. Just not been his night. By the way, top split just came to a close. Race winner there, Austin O'Neill over Joshua Wolf. They were the only two to finish on the lead lap in the very end, though, Sheldon. Wow.
That means a lot of green flag runs, I'm thinking.
Yeah, those two backing up speed. Wolf in past years we've seen do really well. And now we're still a quarter of a distance to go. We might run out of time here. We're at about 36 minutes, give or take.
I think we'll probably be able to get it done.
I think I can. I think I can. I think I can. We didn't reach anything on time for the heat races. Green flag, Gargaro Jr. clear. And the fight is on for second.
Scrivener can keep it up off that wall. He's going to be sitting pretty here coming down the back straightaway. It looks like he did. Verwayne's going to fall back a bit. Now here comes Scrivener working that top, trying to get Gargaro Jr. to him. If he can get to him before caution, I think we're going to see something happen here.
Scrivener's been able to make the outside work much better compared to the heat races earlier when he slammed the wall. Nearly knocked the floorboards out of it. Now he tries to run from the cushion, tries to find any sort of way to peel Gargaro Jr. off the wall. The cushion coming up big.
Ooh, Gargaro got really low coming out turn two. If Scrivener could have kept the power down, that would have been it, but he didn't quite get it. He's really good on the cushion right now, though. You can tell he's got that right rear planted right up against it.
Yeah, right now seems to be you're dead even on the runs, but Brian Bennett, he's got something cooking from the inside. He's the only one trying to cook from the inside groove.
And boy, is he cooking. He is hauling, but we got another yellow on the speedway. 23.
Again. And I I think he's finally destroyed that car.
Like maybe trying to get down to pit. No, just looped it. Well, 20 laps to go.
Yeah.
What are you thinking, Justin? You've been asking me all night. What do you think?
I don't know what to think. We've had cautions, precautions, 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 precautions. It can only last for so long. In fact, a couple restarts from now, it's single file. Less than 20 laps to work with on the racetrack, mind you. In fact, can anybody stop Garguro Jr.?
I just really think if this thing can go green long enough, I really think that Scrivener has it. I mean, we've been talking about tire wear being a huge thing. And the one thing that I've noticed out of Scrivener is he's been holding that thing really straight compared to Garguro and Verwayen. They're really running yawed out, and from the oval side of things, I always attribute that as you're cooking the right rear tire off incredibly bad. And you see a car running straight, using a little bit more of the right front than you are, the right rear, and I think that he might have some, but just we're not getting long enough runs for anybody to be able to really make a stab at Garguro. But also that 42 is really good too, so
yeah.
Sorry.
Well, his teammate got a great jump this time. Verwayen up to second. And the top two, team 1-2 for Evolve for now.
Scrivener still fighting back strong on the outside, though, as Verwayen tries to get the power down to get something done, but he's just not going to be able to do it. It's so hard on the bottom now with it all slicked up. But here comes the 71 to prove me wrong. Bennett to the inside of Verwayen down into 3, and he's going to get the spot. Not quite. Not over yet. 3 wide.
3 wide. The 222 has to back out of Bennett Holman. Less than 15 laps to go. Verwayen still running cushion. Bennett still trying to run his happy spot from the inside. Verwayen clear for third.
Wayne using that outside power, using that momentum, using that cushion to his advantage. Oh, but he gets bumped by the 222. And here goes
Caution.
Bennett. We got a caution.
And might be single file after this one. Colty involved in this caution. And we're under yellow again.
What happens here? Just a really deep dive. He tried to get out of it, it looked like, but he was too far in. Then just gets piled into from behind.
And
Rough night for Dolson.
Yeah, he towed it. Mert Story parked it. Tough night for Kingsman Racing as a whole. From the heat races all the way through, they've had so many trouble spots.
That's been a shame for Dolson because he's had a lot of speed tonight too. We saw it in the heats. We saw it in everything else, and he just has had no luck whatsoever. It's like anything that he does, it's just going to come apart on him. And it's just another one of them situations. Getting late, getting aggressive, making moves you wouldn't normally make, and comes back to bite you.
Coming up to 11 to go. And we'll see, will they give him the double file? Yes, they will. Since we're not within the 10 laps to go mark yet.
That's the last thing Scrivener wanted to see. Because them two teammates down there, they're working together based on how good a jump that 8 car got on that last restart.
Let's find out how this one goes. Garguro Jr., Brian Scrivener. Pace truck is off. Teammates on the pedal together. Green, green, green. 10 laps to go from Eldora.
High, wide, and handsome right now with Garguro and Scrivener. Is it going to go green long enough for anybody to be able to make a chance at Garguro? He has dominated this thing from the start.
Yes, indeed. Now Scrivener, though, tries to find a way to poke ahead. Coming around to 8 laps to go. He's going to need a mistake from the 42. That's been not happening. More crashes at the back. We still stay green for now, despite the field's best efforts.
I hope we keep it this way, too, because we got a battle shaping up for sure between these two. Garguro's really doing a good job of just getting the power down and being just good enough.
Caution.
Oh, we got a yellow.
Ronald McPherson again. The 143 spins it. And we're under yellow, which might trigger our final restart of the race.
Oh, boy.
He's been trying. That car's been absolutely demolished. But now this should be single filed out the rest of the way, Sheldon. This should make it more difficult to make a pass.
Yeah, but it's also going to work out, too, because you're not going to have as many cars packed on top of each other, so this should make it a little bit easier for us to finish this thing out green. I hope, anyway. I pray. I mean, we're going to go green just shy of 5 laps to go, ain't we?
Yeah.
4-lap dash, something like that?
Looks like based on lights, yes. We're going to go to green with 4 laps to go. Top split finished under caution. So the next flag could very well end it here. Garguro Jr. and it looks like they did not give the single file like they did in the other session. They kept it to double wide. So disregard the single file conversation. We're coming to 4 laps to go with Garguro Jr. on the jump. 4 laps to go.
And Bennett with a really good launch, diving down to the bottom. Not going to be able to get it done, though, but here we go. We have a battle shaped up for the lead now. Scrivener to the inside of Garguro. Can he get it done? A little bit of contact, throws him a door. Moves Scrivener up to the lead. And Garguro all sideways down the straightaway.
Using the elbows. That's what happened during their heat races earlier on. Scrivener runs away with less than 2.5 laps to go. Garguro Jr., after leading the whole entire way, has this race turned into a disaster with 2 to go.
We got side-by-side battle still, though. Bennett on the inside trying to get a run on Garguro for 2nd place. Not going to be able to get it done. Here we come to the white flag.
1 lap to go, presented by Ryco Performance. Now Brian Scrivener. He's been running second just about the entire race. Started this race from the pole, though. He'll come through turns 3 and 4 for the final time. He's the winner tonight from Eldora. He wins 2nd split for the World 100. Garguro Jr. in 2nd, Bennett in 3rd. Wow.
And I think what we saw there was just a really good job on tire saving with Scrivener. Like I was talking about earlier, how he held the thing straight just about all the way around the track as best he could. I think that was the little extra secret sauce that got it done for him tonight.
And he destroys the car in celebration. Why not?
Well, everybody else did it in racing, so why not?
So he burns around in full-on circles. As he celebrates, we'll get ready for post-race coverage. You're watching Grid Vision for coverage of the Major Series, the Pacific region. Scrivener takes 2nd split. A look at your unofficial race results where Brian Scribner takes the win. Gargaro Jr., Bennett, your top 3. Hutchinson for weigh-in. Trojan, your lead lappers in the end. Santana finishes laps down along with Shank, McGreevy, Fox, your top 10 in this one here, Sheldon.
In 11th place, we got Damian Colt. He's 6 laps down, followed by Stuart Elder in 12th. 13th is going to be Timothy Klaus, followed by 14th, Scott Kukas. 15th is going to be Joseph Human with Don Dolson. Hard night for him. Going to be 16th. 17th is going to be Stephen Paulison, followed by Ronald McPherson in 18th. 19th is going to be Joshua Mertz, followed by Sebastian Jackson in 20th. And rounding out the field is going to be Phil Otto in 21st.
That's what we talked upon about the running order here tonight here on Grid Vision. A very attrition-filled night of dirt racing. But Brian Scribner, perfect restart to end it off. Gets the win after starting on the pole and running second much of the night. Brian, how does it feel to get the win here tonight?
Absolutely amazing. Still shaking. Hats off, and to David especially. He had, I think I just had a little bit more tire left than he did at the end there. I was trying to keep the pressure on as much as I could, and I was worried that we were having so many yellows that the tires wouldn't be a factor, but I think they were by just a stretch.
Yeah, talk us through that move on Gargaro Jr. with the tire difference to close out this race.
On that restart, I just seemed to get a better launch than he did, and I had a really great run on him. And all I could do was go to the inside or get into his rear end, and so I just had to make the move down there and hope it stuck. And luckily, it did.
So overall, what does this mean for your team tonight? You guys had some fast cars. You get yourself and your team in the victory lane in the end. What does it mean for the organization?
I think this is really going to be good for for the silver team for sure. I don't know what happened in top split, so I hope we had some good results up there as well. We didn't have as many guys start this round as we ordinarily like to, so it's good to get as many points as we can, and I'm glad I was able to bring some home tonight.
Any shout outs you'd like to give here tonight?
The team, especially, just for help with tests and stuff, and really bringing this together, and Mike and the gang at Majors too for putting this on. It's always a great show, and we had some kerfuffles around the rules at the last minute, but it's all good. It all worked out.
Congratulations, Brian, on the victory tonight.
Thank you.
Brian Scribner coming away with the victory here this evening. I'd like to thank him for taking the time to speak with us during post-race coverage here on Grid Vision. Sheldon, your final thoughts on what we've seen break down here tonight, where in the end, cautions bred lots of caution flags. As a matter of fact, give you your official caution count as it comes through the ticker. I was going to give it to you, but the whole website crashed. So, your thoughts on the night?
Man, I mean, it's a shame that we had so many incidents tonight, but there at the end, these guys did put on a really good show with that last, 4-lap dash. Really good battle between Scribner and Gargaro Jr. for the win, and not quite the clinic I was expecting out of Scribner, but still got it done nonetheless.
We'll see how things play out once again when we get back to racing. Let's take a look at the weekly schedule. Ryco Performance Night on Monday at Richmond, Champion on Tuesday. Then Thursday is High Slide at Dover. Then rounding out the week, it's going to be NIS competition back in the swing of things. That will be on Friday from the Action Track. And the Major Series, by the way, their next race, it's the Rock and Roll 400. That won't be until August the 24th, though. On that note, though, it's time to say goodbye. For the entire Grid Vision team, I'd like to thank you for watching and participating in the chat. For more information, again, your league broadcaster starting your career in broadcasting, contact us on Facebook, X, or by email at info@gridvision.live. Congratulations once again to Brian Scribner, the winner of tonight's race from Eldora. My name's Justin Prince for Sheldon Atkins for Austin Derbyshire. It's time to say goodnight. We'll see you next time on the Grid.